You hunt waterfowl for 50 years, as I have, and you keep saying you've seen it all, but you haven't seen it all until you've seen this. This is 1,500 acres of the most pristine wetlands I've seen in years. And I've told a few people that you hunt waterfowl for 50 years, as I have, and you keep saying you've seen it all, but you haven't seen it all until you've seen this. And maybe I'll say this again some other place and time, but this is absolutely the most beautiful, pristine wetland I've ever seen.
The thing we got going here is, see, there's no refuge around here close nowhere. And so we refuge our own birds on the track here, and then you gotta kind of, use some common sense and watch what you're doing with them so you keep them here. Because if you had a state refuge or a federal refuge close, then you maybe gun it a little harder, but we don't gun this thing a lot of times. Once or twice a week, maybe 3 times, but we don't gun it real hard to keep these birds in here. That way we always got quality hunting on it where we got the numbers stay here.
I previously used to work for the Corps of Engineers for about 15 years, and I was a surveyor for those folks, and I run a boat on the Missouri River and surveyed on the Missouri River. And on top of that, I've born and raised on a farm and own land, and that's what I do for a living now. So it's been a kind of continuation of my early career of work to go into it now, and it's always been a passion.
But we've got a tremendous seed bank in here on smart wheat and millet. And
they have equipment. They have guys like Bill Hillebush, all of these different people with expertise. They have the equipment, and when they put in for certain permits, they do everything as legal as it gets. They talk to an agency, and the agency, we'd like to help you out. Well, they get the permits and they call the agency and say, hey, why don't you come over next week, we're going to do this. Well, the agency may not have already even had a meeting on it. That's how it relates to state agencies, federal agencies. These guys in the private sector, if they have the means to do it, can bulldoze right through everything. Bulldoze may be a bit of symbolism because that's the business they're in. Wow.
Man, they're not listening.
We had just pulled in the night before from down in Nevada, and we pulled into the lodge, and we're all excited about the next morning, and we wake up and it is frozen solid. And we're looking, we can't find any open water. Bill Hillebush and Marshall, they decide we can't hunt here and we've got to move on down. Well, Evans' property is so expansive and they have an awful lot of property. We drove for almost a half an hour and got down right on the Missouri River to this beautiful piece of property, and our eyes were just bugged out. We were seeing birds, but it was almost 8 o'clock, 8:30 by the time we got there, we got out there, and we had missed the flight. You know, I got to know Bill a little bit better. We kind of knew we liked each other. He has a Chesapeake, I have a Chesapeake, and it was nice to get to know him again and learn a little bit more about him. And he's got a million stories about how they go about getting this property, what they do to enhance it for the waterfowl, et cetera, et cetera. It's the first time I'd ever been in one of those blinds. Those blinds are almost undescribable. I think 34 foot long, a refrigerator and stove that are probably better than what's in my house.
This is how we rough it in the duck blind.
It's set up for those who can be pampered because Marshall is one of the greatest cooks you'll ever find.
My mama always told me never trust a skinny chef. Therefore, I should be the world's best chef.
We don't often get to do this in Michigan, Tom. Just the bacon. You almost wonder if there's even ducks flying over those decoys. Think there are? You don't even know, do you, Reese? We got Reese here, Bryce's son, and Marshall cooking bacon. Dogs whining because they can smell that bacon. They're not caring about the ducks either. Man, oh